options, but the decisions are left to chance. Now, last week, Labour MP Austin Mitchell was given a camera and sent on his merry way to record every throw of the dice.
Oh, I've got one of them in my bathroom. Gives me lovely hot water.
Whenever I take the waters, I always go to Baden-Baden.
I always use Radox.
Definitely gives sex appeal, but only found in hot places. 3.
Oh, I'm in the Times this week.
Suntan.
I want to go there. No atmosphere.
Now, most of these souvenirs you wouldn't give house room to, but the tradition of souvenirs has been going on for many, many years. And this evening I have Henry Sandon from the Antiques Roadshow to share some of his personal memorabilia. Hello, Henry.
Hello.
People start bringing back souvenirs from where they'd be.
From Malabar. This is
a Fabergé egg.
Not a Fabergé egg, though it's a real ostrich egg, stuffed by carving with a ship and the word. But of course, souvenirs come back.
Right, and this is valuable?
10, 15 pounds, something like that. Of course, the English factories during the First World War.
Lovely,
I think they're great fun. Of course, souvenirs started being made in England. I've got some very interesting English ones here.
It's a nice basket too.
A nice basket. That's around about to buy it something like about £50, something like that.
Postcards now. We have postcards. I've got your personal favourite here.
Oh,
I've
postcards, yes.
So this is the ultimate postcard.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, this is rather beautiful. This is a postcard to beat all postcards. A scene of the hotel where you went to stay in Germany. This is Berlin, and I suppose, you know, one of the watering spas of Europe, Baden-Baden or somewhere.
Baden-Baden, indeed.
You brought it back home when you were there and remembered it by it.
And so how much is this?
Very beautiful piece. About 1830 in date. This is going to come up at auction at Phillips shortly, and it's probably going to fetch several £1,000s. So
would you put a cross there where your hotel
A cross where my room was. Yes, I would.
And there was a cheeky sore spot then.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think there was nothing deadly in that.
Do you know I nearly died once?
Oh, Fufu.
There was this big long tunnel and it was really crowded with people. And then suddenly, there was this light.
Oh, Fufu, what happened?
It's a Northern Line. I went.
But for Julian Lytton, social historian from the Victoria and Albert Museum, it is a passion. Now, Julian has a very big and possibly the most bizarre collection of funeral items in the whole of the United Kingdom. Now, Julian, this is really peculiar. So how did you get into
second bottle of vodka? I should never have touched it. I need something to calm me down now.
Well, you could try Killdozers in part 4.
No, I don't want a horror movie, my dear.
That's not a horror movie, it's a band. They're singing American Pie.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Hit it, Professor! Enjoying that, thank you. Like Captain Pugwash up here, we have invited champion DJ Chad Jackson from Manchester to try to remix Royal Britannia for 1989. Chad, come onto my picnic. Hi there, kid.
Yeah.
So tell me, why is it now British DJs are the best mixers in the world?
Well, as a result of some mixing competitions, a lot of British DJs have won these in competition with American DJs, and they're really coming up now and going past the Americans. The Americans started it, and now the British are going ahead of them. So.
And have you were a world champion or something?
Yeah, 1987.
Very good. Now, your equipment is massive, so what are you actually going to do with it? Yes. So they tell me.
Well, actually,
so what are you actually going to do with all this?
Yeah, well, I'm going to take this piece of music in the background here, Real Britannia. I'm going to sample it up on the sampler here, and take it, cut it around, speed it up, put a good beat underneath it, bring it up to the 80s standard, and get it kicking, boy.
Oh, kicking, boy. All right.
Kicking.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you later with this classical British song.
So can I start now?
You can start now.
All right.
Understand? We're looking over your shoulder.
All right.
They'll be on in a minute, and they need their bread.
Oh, don't worry, Fufu. Let them eat cake. fighting Rule Britannia, that was 3 vodkas ago. So let's see how we got on, shall we? Chad, has it been difficult?
Very difficult. I mean, Real Britannia is such a traditional song, you know, that I mean, to bring it up to date to the 80s, put a couple of rhythms under it, I've sampled a couple of things, beefed it up, speeded it up, and tried to make it more 80s and more kicking.
More kicking. Okay, well, let's hear it for ourselves, shall we?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Jackson with Rule Britannia. Ready, steady, go. But Elkin, I'm sure our viewers will do that. So now let us see what Malcolm Bennett has to say about visual pollution. And after the break, we're going to find out what's cooking with Fanny Craddock, and we're going to hear the amazing Frank Sinatra. Hearts 1,000 times. Listen, it's amazing Frank Sinatra. Well, that's all from Club X for this evening, and I've never felt so overdressed at a tea party in my life.
And next week, Club X goes shopping.
Shopping?
Yep. Shopping, dear.
Shopping. Yeah.
How does stuff all work?
Will you come to Club X with me so we have a look in your basket?
No, dear.
Excuse me, how would you like to come back to Club X with me?
What for?
So we can have a look inside your basket.
Yeah, all right.
We got one, excuse me. How would you like to be on television tonight?
Why?
Why? Oh, because we're looking inside people's shopping baskets.
Yeah, right.
Stop the clock! This is Julia. And why do we want to look inside their baskets, I hear you asking me? Because tonight we have psychologist Susan Clemmy, I nearly got it right, Susan Clemmy, who's going to analyse their baskets and tell us what their personality is like. Now, Susan, can you really tell the personality of somebody by their shopping?
I think...
Yes. Now, Susan, there's also, you have a theory about shoes, I believe.
I certainly do. I think that the kind of shoes you wear during the day say something about how you are ordinarily, and the kind of shoes you wear in the evening say something about your fantasy life and the kinds of thing you would like to be.
Fantasy? Well, what about those?
Reg, if I tell you the answer to that, I'll be locked up.
Didn't Val Jr. going to have a hit song called Walk Shore?
No, that was the Stranglers.
No, that was Walk On By, darling.
No, that was
Dionne Warwick! Being right on isn't always easy, as a play you're about to see will tell you. Despite winning the Sunday Times British Screenwriting Competition, this is the first of Jonathan David's plays to be shown on television. It's a black comedy about the new man and the new morals, and Saskia Reeves plays the lead. It's called Blood for Supper. Kay Adshead, got it right. Kay Adshead. It's set in the future and it's called After the Party. Albert Stern. Snogging Liz. Block 8 at the Wimbledon Theatre. This play has a largely female cast. The TV show has been seen in 40 countries around the world, watched by over millions and millions of people, and has a following, reputedly, of lesbian women who watch it. And here is a clear program. There is an official fan club run by Roz and Tracy here with me, and an official magazine called H Block Herald, which has serious items with interviews with the stars, plus little tidbits like this, which I gleaned for you. What is Doreen's bust measurement? And the answer is, we're unsure of the answer to this, but can only say the measurement seems to increase weekly. Well, there you are, that's television for you, isn't it? And Erica Davison, played by Patsy King, is a dead ringer for Lady Penelope. Isn't she just, though? And so, what I want to ask Patsy and Roz, not Patsy and Roz.
What's your mother?
Oh, Tracy and Rosalind. Why are you so devoted to Cell Block H?
It's the best piece of entertainment on television.
Do you identify with the prisoners or the warders?
No.
You don't?
No. Pure entertainment.
Pure entertainment?
Yeah.
Do you find it slightly, shall we say, tacky?
Extremely tacky.
Oh, extremely tacky?
Extremely tacky, yes.
Well, now they've put me into a quote here. This is from the first issue, and this is what Tracy and Roz wrote. Got it right. As the incredible stories unfolded, we realised that this was the epitome of bad taste, with its ham acting, tacky scenery, outrageous storylines, and overall trash content. We loved it. And you still do.
We still do to this day, yes.
Well, now I have to turn to the Queen Bee herself, Val Lehman. And Val, after hearing this and being like the star of the TV show, how do you feel being in a program like this and hearing this about it?
Well, I don't think that any prisoners were ever known for their taste, or in any area, dress, decor, whatever. And I think any actress that works in a soap opera is very foolish if she loses sight of the fact that that's what it is,
Yeah.
a soap opera.
And did you have a good
And the
time
scripts
doing
aren't
it?
terribly brilliant, but we did our best to make them work.
Did you have a good time doing them?
The first couple of years, yes, we had an enormous good time. We had a lot of fun, met a lot of lifelong friends in the show. Thoroughly enjoyed it, yes. Also, I think that it discussed some women's issues that were very pertinent.
Yes, they were, and they still are too.
Yes.
Isn't now. Right, but the fans at this moment in time aren't that happy. There is a split between the official fan club and the Reg Grundy organisation who made the 700 programmes. And we have invited them here this evening, our fans, because they're going to threaten to boycott the play. Can you believe it? So we've asked them here tonight to just see the live performance, a version of a scene from the play, to convince them that they must rush along to the Wimbledon Theatre next week to see it. So here is a clip from a stage play, Cell Block H. Sorry, darling, something in the mind. Anyway, so you can make up your own minds and rush along to the Wimbledon Theatre next week, where it starts its nationwide tour, I believe, at the Wimbledon, the Cell Block H. I, for one, am going to rush along to see it, and then Miss Davidson now is going to lock me out. And now it's time to visit Victor Lewis Smith and find out the world of opera in the first time on British television, Confined 5. Others. Here Nick Rowe and Bernard Rose talk about being prisoners in and out of Hollywood. I wish they'd got me the Bunty, I can't think
As it works.
And now it's time for the Cookie Crew to give us their video diary. Later on in the programme, we'll be talking to Herbert Siddon, who's having his first fashion show in 20 years, finding out why he thinks Berlin is the largest prison in the world. But first on Club X, we ask who done it and what's the difference between the British and American murder. See you later. But they're back with a new single, Blues from a Gun. Oh! That's all we have time for this week on Club X. Next week, we're going to talk about sex and unlocking a few more doors than we did this
we'd like
week.
to thank everybody who helped in the show and helped to make it, according to Broadcast Magazine, the most talked about programme on television.
Especially by those people who never saw it.
Precisely. Club X will be back in spring 1990. Until then, we leave you with another golden moment from the series.
This was a dance number, especially choreographed for Club X, when we did a programme on camp. It's the Bell Bottoms with Dancing Queen.
Until next year, goodbye.